Oggy, to Stevie's point about the toxic atmosphere off the pitch, obviously reports 250 employees losing their job, losing the free lunches as well. It must be miserable there.
Oh, it's absolutely terrible. I mean, you know, we kind of be light-hearted at times with this show, but what I'm hearing from people at United who have left recently or are still there, it's horrendous. Okay, Ineos have gone in there with Jim Ratcliffe wanting to streamline things and reduce what they think is a bloated workforce, but the way they're doing it and the way that they're throwing money around on compensation for managers that they don't want or for technical directors they don't want, and at the same time trying to cut costs by, stop serving meals for the staff in the canteen, which probably saves them £500,000. That it's the economising that is ridiculous, because they're saving money where it doesn't really need to be saved, but they're still wasting money on player contracts, on managers, like I said, on coaches that they're trying to get rid of. So it's just such a false economy, and nobody at the club is happy right now. They look around at what's happening at Man City. They see people who work at Man City who've left United in the past and gone over there, and without, it is free lunches and it is free dinners and it's free everything. Well, not free everything, but they're looked after. They're treated like they are important to the club. At Man United, they used to be, and nobody at United treats them as though they're important, and they're very kind of dispensable, when the people that should be dispensable, the people on the pitch that haven't been doing it for a long time, that have been picking up wages and not, let's look at Casemiro. He said about a week ago that he's not happy about not playing, but he wants to see out his contract because he's got 18 months on his contract and a massive contract. Now that is a wrong attitude at Man United, to just want to sit around on a massive contract because, well, you've got a contract. Well, what about the people that are losing their jobs because players that aren't earning their money and just sitting around on their massive contracts, happy to stay? Well, if Casemiro was to go in the summer and be realistic and take a pay cut, and United was to take a drop on his feet, save a bit of money that way, then people might be kept in a job, and their job means much more to them than it does to Casemiro and other players that are just happy to pick up the wages.
That's not Casemiro's fault, though, is it? It was Manchester United who gave him the contract. This is just bad. This is bad business.
It's bad business. But let me see. As Mark is speaking there, I can't help but think, when I went up to Newcastle a couple of years ago, just after Eddie Howe took over, and the kit man was same kit man who was there when I was there. A couple of the backroom staff were there when I was there, and they were talking about Mike Ashley's ownership and how difficult it was on everybody at the football club, how he dragged that club down. And then all of a sudden, new ownership comes in, and there was just this feeling of belief. Now, what I'm hearing from Mark just reminds me of how they spoke about Mike Ashley. And now keep in mind, Newcastle were a team that got relegated, came back up, were there around the bottom three. And as a matter of fact, when the club was sold and Eddie Howe came in, Manchester United was sitting bottom of the Premier League that January.
Newcastle.
Newcastle was sitting bottom of the Premier League. That for me is kind of where Manchester United are heading, just hearing this. Because as much as everybody wants to talk about the players and the wages and this, that, and the other, and it's these players who are walking out onto the park, what's happening behind the scenes has an outsized impact on what's happening on the pitch. It happened at Newcastle. I witnessed it. I spoke to, again, people who I know and trust well about that experience, and this sounds every bit like it.
The foundation always stays there. Players come and go.
Right.
Managers come and go. And that's why it's important to look after your staff and look after the people who have got, well, the lives. A lot of the people that will work at Old Trafford, it'll be their life. And maybe it was with the passed down from their family.
Yeah.
It's the foundation of the communities and everything. Players and coaches come and go and will come and go. But if you start messing with the foundation, then guess what? Collapses.
I'm sure Steve has found this. You go back to Anfield and you see some of the people, backroom staff, the tea ladies, and people say, who've been there for 30 years, 40 years. They're still there, still remember you and call them by their first name. And you don't get rid of those people.
There's an excitement that is always there from a club that has that.
Right.
And everybody who's...
Because everyone's together. It's like a big family, yeah.
And everybody's walking to the game, and there comes a point when you're getting a certain distance from the stadium, and everything comes alive, and everybody's excited, and everybody's on edge because they want to see the game, and they want... I can't imagine what it's like at Old Trafford. Yeah. People are walking with their head, probably walking towards the stadium going, oh, what are we getting today?